What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. Surprisingly, yesterday had some pretty positive movements within most of the cryptocurrencies. The overall top 10 cryptos, or the overall market, is up 5%, which is pretty incredible, as you guys can see here. And cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, XRP, they all actually saw a pretty solid surge in price. BNB taking the lead here at 15%, but these other cryptos were about 3 to 5% on average. Litecoin up 23%, probably much higher than I had anticipated originally by the technical indicators and analysis that we did yesterday. But what's really interesting to me is the fact that Bitcoin has managed to resurge all the way back up to its top resistance, stopping us out in some profit, which is good on Bitcoin. And then as for things like Ethereum here, we haven't yet actually gotten stopped out. I am playing this, or I'm going to continue to play this, because I do believe we are going to slide lower, but that's really my guesstimate here moving forward. And I'd love to hear what you think about it down in the comments below. And XRP here has done nothing yet, so this is not surprising or unsurprising to me in the slightest bit. And I do believe we are going to continue to play this out as we move forward in this technical indicator, because we definitely have a pattern here to go off of. We do have a beautiful symmetrical triangle that is leading up to a potential break. I made a video on it yesterday, as you guys can see here, talking about that this kind of descending pattern is happening again. You could see history is repeating, and we're starting to see the symmetrical triangle play out with the higher lows and lower highs filling in the gap here on XRP, which is something that we wanted to happen earlier, kind of tying itself in with the Ethereum descending triangle or symmetrical triangle. You can see clearly here we have the original break to the downside. We had the symmetrical triangle, then we broke bearish here. But you can see also the same thing with Bitcoin. We had a beautiful symmetrical triangle after we broke to the downside here. Let me just get this in frame. You can see we originally broke down, and then we fell into a symmetrical triangle, broke down again, and here we are resurging to the top, but I don't think it's going to last. And I'm going to try to prove that to you as to why I don't think it's going to. Now, are going to continue upwards. Now, we are also going to be looking at the S&P 500, which had a very positive day, surprisingly. Yesterday here, I was not expecting that in the slightest bit, so we do have to talk about this and go over this in today's video, although I do believe we are going to be rejected fairly soon, and I think you guys need to prepare yourself. But with all that being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notification, subscribe, and let's dive into today's episode. So guys, I want to start with the S&P 500 because I truly believe we are going to continue to head down. And the only reason why I think we're seeing, well, the only reason I think the markets actually went up yesterday was because of the big green candle we had in regards to yesterday's movement, up 1.36%. It's a very big, substantial green candle here. However, you can see we're slowly starting to fill in this gap here, which is not a good sign for the S&P 500. You can see here originally, these are what we've been tracking, major breaks to the downside here that form some sort of symmetrical triangle or ascending fractal here. We fill in the gap beautifully, and then we usually end this by breaking bearish. There is a bearish bias on this here, and ideally we are kind of running out of time because the higher we trade, which you can see right now is right here, you can see we are getting closer and closer to being overbought, currently trading at about 60 on the relative strength indicator, oversold at 70 here. But you can see we're getting very close, and there wouldn't be much movement. If we retested 4,000 points here, the top of this white band here as resistance, that would be overbought on the S&P 500 and would ultimately cause for a correction. So the fact is that this typically has a bearish bias. That's one reason why I'm bearish. Second is we have this white band here, which is the top of the resistance, which is another reason why I'm bearish, and I'll show you why in a second. Third reason, we have this downtrend here, another reason why I'm bearish. And then fourth, we have the, you could see here, the price ceiling, as well as we are intertwining with the moving average, another reason to break bearish. Now, moving forward here, the other reasons why I believe this to prove to you is we are also retesting moving average on the weekly. Another reason to break bearish. Now, you guys can see the descending fractal has been completely, or typically when we see these downtrends and then we form some sort of ascending fractal here, they typically break bearish. You can see beautiful uptrend here, we have the downtrend forming some sort of ascending fractal. Typically, it breaks bearish. Same thing again, downtrend into an ascending fractal typically breaks bearish. Not only do we have this resistance, but you can see here confirmed 3 times. This will be the 4th. We have a resistance point. We have a resistance point. 3 confirmations of resistance. Here we are with the 4th, which will most likely correct us to the downside here, and I think that's going to pull the crypto market down with it here, and this is why it's so important. We're retesting the moving average, which is a problem zone, and I'd be shocked if we have the volume to break through it. If we do, I'm going to probably just put my money back in. I've been waiting to, but I'd be very shocked. I'd be very shocked at that. Trading at 50 on the RSI on the weekly charts here, but I think things are leaning more towards a 70% drop than it is towards a bullish run. You can see we're inside the descending fractal. This is a fractal that's been on since January here, and I think we're now destined to reject off it again and then try it later down the road. But you can also see moving forward here, we are in a much bigger ascending fractal. This white band that has been on the coin for 12 years since 08, 09, or 2011, but you can extend the bottom all the way back to 08, 09 right here. Started the top resistance in 11. You can see how it's been a continued pattern, and every time we retest this major resistance here, we tend to break bearish and correct to the downside. So moving forward, you can see again, here we are retesting this bit of white here, which is, to me, looks like a rejection sign. I just don't feel confident buying in. I'm getting ready to put my money in once we do decide to drop. Then I will buy into that. But otherwise, I'm just going to wait it out. You can see we are retesting this moving average, and I just don't feel confident enough to put money into this market just yet. So we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, moving forward to XRP, this is also panning out very soon, which also ties in with a bearish break. You can see it typically ends right about the 25th, which today is the 23rd. So 2 days, or sorry, yeah, this is November 25th. So we have 2 days left in this symmetrical triangle here. Again, when we break downwards into a symmetrical triangle, it has a bearish bias, which is where I'm thinking short term, we might have a pull down to about 30 cents here. The only time I'll be buying in on this is if we either break through the top resistance or break through the bottom support. It's clear as day. If anybody wants to argue that this isn't a beautiful symmetrical triangle forming here and how volume has slowly died off and we have been creating higher lows and lower highs and slowly filling in this gap here for a decision to be made, then feel free to challenge it, but I strongly believe this is going to cause rejection. It's just where I think this market is going to be headed to. It's exactly what all these other cryptos do. If we break through the price floor on the daily, we will short to 30 cents. We break through the top resistance, we will long it with expectations up to 45 cents here, at least up to the moving average of 42. Moving forward with Ethereum and Bitcoin here. Interesting coins. I really want to draw this daily out, and I'm going to, just like this, because I do believe that this is going to cause rejection. I'd be shocked if we break up higher than that, but you can see if I extend this downtrend out here, we are continuing to scale lower, and I might even be able to scale some sort of bottom support here. Not necessarily something that's accurate just yet, but I just want to leave it on for right now. You can see how this kind of outlines itself with the rest of the markets. We could probably scale this a little lower. You can see how it's slowly starting to form some sort of descending fractal here, where prices are kind of teeter-tottering in the inside here, even though we reversed out of this back up to pretty much where we had originally bought in, actually higher than where we bought in. We did get stopped out on Bitcoin, did take profits though, but I do believe we are going to continue to scale this lower. I don't think this is it for the markets here, and I think we are going to continue to move lower. I'd be shocked if we reverse out of this. I really would, but that's why we have stop losses. But look at Ethereum, for example, on its 4 hour. We're trading at 50 on the RSI, and you can see we're inside a descending fractal, consistently being rejected off top resistance here, consistently. Here we are again retesting it. I have a gut feeling it is going to continue to scale us lower until we retest bottom support at 1,039. What would that look like on the daily here? You can see even though we're teeter-tottering and oversold, I think we are still going to head down until we retest 1,040. Then we can hopefully take profits and reverse this trade back to the upside here, because then I believe once we retest the lower levels here, which might not be that low, but I do believe that's where we're headed, right where this previous support is. Once we retest this previous support, then I think we might reverse out of it, and then the rest of the markets will come up with it. But until then, I'm pretty bearish on all these cryptos. I think everything is going to start to see the markets swing lower. The small run to the upside is not, unexpected here. We have a beautiful, and if you want to trade this on the 4 hour, we have a beautiful downtrend here, clearly showing you where we're bouncing off top resistance and bottom supports. It's a continued pattern here, and you can see it consistently playing out. Here we are retesting it again. Ideally, after a movement like that, we should scale to the downside here before swinging back to the upside. So we'll see how this continues to play out moving forward in the week. But I do believe moving forward, we are going to continue this drop, which is good because we haven't gotten stopped out of Ethereum yet. But I do believe Bitcoin is going to continue to pan lower here. And I do believe the S&P is also going to get rejected, probably off this green band here. Most definitely off the white band. That's what I believe. But I feel like the green band is going to be strong enough for us to reject and will pull lower. I mean, we have traded above it in the past. Keep that in mind. We have traded above it in the past here. It's definitely possible. And if we want to tweak it on the daily, we could easily kind of pull it up like this. That would be about accurate here. But if we jump to the weekly, you can see why I have it lower. You can see on the weekly, I've moved this down to retesting the top points right here. And here we are retesting it again, or darn near close to it, which I think is going to pull the rest of the markets down with it. But otherwise, that's pretty much wrapping up today's video. With that being said, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, smash the like button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.